Hello, welcome to our podcast, episode 90 on the stuff with the HO.
Yes, the HO, the Havoc Order, the Order of Havoc.
Yep, the War of the HO.
the the annihilation of myself.
Annihilation.
Well, I've only won one battle so far, so yes, I'm slowly being annihilated.
I guess that is true.
Yes.
But yeah,
There has been some new updates to the whole entire order. The Triple J is no longer just a ordinary being. He has become a godly entity.
yep. And there's also the Triple T.
Yep,
But
which is
since we're going to be talking about plans, I might as well mention my plans.
yeah,
Because yeah, again on Saturday, I'm probably gonna have the Triple T meets Michael. So and seeing that that'll technically just be before what we do on Friday, like it'll take place like canonically just before the Battle of the Foundation,
yeah,
like like Triple T won't know exactly when it's going to happen, but it probably will be like, know that's going to happen soon, like giving Michael like a general warning.
yeah,
But he already kind of figures that they'll probably reach the foundation sooner or later.
yeah.
But yeah, I also have plans that Triple T, um, like, has, maybe had more of a hand in Michael's life than he may realize. Like,
So Triple T is kind of like his guardian angel kind of entity kind of thing.
yeah. But
Uh,
nonetheless, Michael will still probably be annoyed in his typical fashion that another secret was kept from him.
Especially one that has a twin complex, not a twin complex, but two twin deities. I think that's what's gonna piss Michael off the most.
Yep. Like, but the what I'm thinking of is that Triple T is going to reveal that as being helping Michael, like, because technically there are many times Michael should have died, but future versions of Michael has saved himself, which technically shouldn't be possible unless someone was purposely, altering events. So,
Consider considering that the Triple T is known as a realist, that does play in quite well.
so he's altered the rules for Michael a few times to get him to where he is, like. But Michael doesn't really like being a
A
puppet.
puppet. A puppet for a second time.
Yep. because he's been basically like a puppet in the past to the Book of Lies, to like many different people, to me, because yeah, again, I have a character version of myself, so he's been a puppet to many different people, and he really doesn't like him not technically having full control of his life. And this will
Mm.
just be another instance of him not having full control. So yeah, Triple T is going to be that guardian angel.
Well, technically, hey, Triple T's technically not puppeting him. He's just giving him the extra hand he needs by letting
Yeah,
his other selves um help him out.
yeah. But still, nonetheless, Michael's probably going to be somewhat annoyed because this is just a common thing that Michael's had to deal with, and
Everything leads back to what's his name, Reflex or Relix.
Reflex.
Reflex, considering that we're his twin sons.
Yeah, everything leads back to him.
The gods always have to have their interference in some way or another, even if it means without them knowing.
Yep.
As for the Triple J, as everyone knows, he's now become the Dreamer, which is a variant of a person who helped with the dark. Was it Living Darkness?
Yeah, Living Darkness.
He's also a previous ruler of Hell.
I mean, it's fitting for him.
Yeah, yeah, because like the whole like the Triple J thing was a good going, but now technically what's happened is we've recreated the biblical Bible. One son was cast from heaven to rule over hell, and that was the Triple J.
Yep. And
Well
not to
then,
mention like Ghost is, technically part angel, and where, had ideas for,
yeah.
him being also potentially becoming another fallen angel.
I actually think what's good with Ghost is he won't become a fallen angel. I think he'll become. Do you know Talos in Skyrim? How he's a man-made god.
Yeah.
That's what Ghost is eventually going to become after like everything. He's going to become like a god made by man, but he'll stay on the guild just because he has to keep
Yeah.
everything in check. But he's going to end up becoming like Talos and becoming like an actual, I guess you could say demigod, because
Yeah.
Talos is a
Yeah.
man-made god and stuff. So
So
yeah,
he basically be another one of the enigmas, probably.
except he will be an enigma, but he won't. He'll be an enigma that isn't an enigma. If
Kind
you
of
get my
like
drift,
Dimentio, which
yeah,
is another one of my characters who is kind of an enigma, but not actually a proper enigma. Like, he never has fully been like an actual enigma. Like,
like the best way I can explain it is Ghost will be like um yeah, he'll become a god, but not a god that the enigmas will 100% recognize as a god.
Yeah. So yeah.
But as with the Triple J, like my plan with the Triple J storyline eventually is that he is going to become an anti person. But what he's going to try and do after he has this
Fitting
big,
enough since he's from anti-universe.
yeah, um, he is going to like realize he's not going to win this battle, and what's going to happen is some of the people that have worked with him and worked for the Foundation, he's going to stand up, levitate off the ground, and half of his soul is going to disappear.
Half of his
Half,
soul.
yeah, pretty much. I'm taking a favorite scene from one of my favorite animes with Reincarnation of the Slime when Rimuru becomes a demon lord and he has the power to resurrect a handful of people, which requires actual soul fragments. And because Triple J's already resurrected one person with a own piece of his soul, which is Zack, he's going to somewhat drain half his pretty much life force into resurrecting some of the people off the battlefield.
I see.
And losing half of his soul is like part of the pittance of finally seeing what he's done is wrong and he should somewhat try live a more not so evil life.
Because I want to mention another idea that I had. Because in my like I was thinking potentially how the conversation with Michael and Triple T will go, and like one thing I feel like that could be potentially brought up in the thing is Ancient Rainbow, which is a in my series splits a person in half between their good side and bad side. But what would that do for someone like the Triple T or Triple J? Like,
Or even better, what we do is okay. The resurrection of some of the soldiers will still be a part of it, but instead of using my soul essence, I will use my version of the dark essence. And what happens is Triple T and Triple J will split half of the the dark and the light and give a piece to each other. So they will be officially the yin and the yang of their own souls.
I see. Yeah,
So Triple J will have half of the realist power, and the Triple T will have half of the dreamer's power,
I see.
which could also then work for how the anti thing comes around with they being like half good and half evil. They have to come to a compromise where they both have to give a part of themselves to one another to fully re-equate the balance.
Yep. Also, I want to run up another idea by you, because I, I'm had an idea that reselects like one thing I've realized is two brothers is very common in my world. Like there's Triple J and the Triple T, but
Who's the
there's
twins?
also like Michael and Jimmy, the two brothers. Like, So, I was thinking about like Reese like his like yeah again creative all, but what if he had a sort of other half because yeah
A
again
sister.
pun
No, maybe a wife? Because they'd have, like, J and T will have to have some kind of mother.
and
If you,
yeah so what I was thinking of is like since the world has always existed between anti-existence and normal existence. In anti-existence, it's the world of pure energy and matter and everything. So it was hard for darkness to ever exist there, and the other half was you know the endless darkness. So
yeah,
I think Reeslex would in a way technically be anti-existence since he's the one that does all the creating, but the other like half of him his wife would be the endless dark, technically the original living darkness,
yeah,
but she is dead and her lineage has moved along because in my lore there's this eye of darkness. Basically it's passed down to whoever the true living darkness is. Like, so at the moment it's currently in the hands of a character that I've called Ivy, who is the current living darkness. But before Ivy, there was the living darkness, the current, the the true living darkness of this current era. But he ended up being like a ally to Michael. So either it would be since from what the lady who knows everything said that there's been a few that means it most likely was the the sort of like grandma mother of the living darkness himself, so it'd be technically the great grandma to Ivy, who's the current one.
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, but should she be dead or not? Should we maybe? It seemed like she was dead,
Yeah,
but I have made living darkness. The true living darkness can resurrect in a way, so it would technically be possible for the same thing to happen with the wife of Reeslex.
yeah. That's pretty good.
So yeah. So what I've already done with my story could perfectly work here.
And also, we can also work in the whole entire um Triple T and Triple J swapping soul fragments or part of them to fully make a true yin and yang scenario,
Yeah.
which would happen from the mother and father coming to intervene and then making the force of them making a decision that there should be only two people who can 100% control the dark and the light, and that's the mother and the father. The children shouldn't have the ability to do that as well, so they only should have half the power of each side,
Yeah.
which then works into perfect balance that no one can forcibly take over the darkness or the light, except for the mother and father.
Yep. Who would be a lot more responsible.
Yeah, then two twin brothers squabbling over the powers,
Yep.
which kind of has happened from when they were given birth, when they were born.
Yep. Oh, also, one last idea, like, I, this one I just figure makes somewhat sense is that even though, like, Triple T is light and J is dark, like, I
Yeah,
figure they still probably have at least a small fragment of the opposite in each other.
yeah. Like the smallest fragment might be like 1 or 2%, but it becomes a true half and half when the mother and father come and intervene
Yeah,
to make it the full 50-50.
yeah,
But mine was locked behind the darkness more than probably Triple T's was. I would assume anyway. If you agree.
with what? Sorry, I sort of blanked there for a second.
Uh, I was just saying, the Triple J's like power of the fragment of the light was like well and truly more engulfed by the darkness, so he couldn't access it as well as probably T.
Yeah,
So like Triple J just went straight down the path of the darkest possible route, which led to what happened and everything that's happened so far.
yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that his tiny bit of light was sort of just smushed.
Smushed under the power of the darkness and the hatred he had for his father for being cast out of the sanctum of, I guess you'd say, the heavens.
Yeah, well, it's sort of like I don't know what to call it exactly. Um, like because because the creation point is technically in between the it is in between like anti-existence and the
Yeah,
regular existence. So, but the closest point is the abyss. So it's a, a name that I have used is edge of the abyss. So yeah. So yeah. So the heavens are a bit more
well, you know what I mean,
odd.
like because he was cast out from the place where his father, his brother lived all together because of
Yeah.
what happened with the whole entire tricking his brother into making a, the thing to help release even more of the, I guess you say, darkness.
Yep.
So like that come into with the like him already feeling like his father betrayed him, kind of like added on top of the small fragment of light being pushed down even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Just probably going to introduce that because I think even Reflex didn't realize there was a tiny bit of light and dark in each of them because
Yeah,
like even though like that they created them like Reflex and his wife like he didn't realize and he failed to be like a good father and
yeah,
so he tried to correct his mistakes by then eventually having dementia um, but like dementia was chaotic as well like because dementia yeah again was one of my previous villains that has changed to good and then eventually had um God, although the name is not as accurately accurate when um, they're not true God, but they're just
yeah,
called God. And the Scarlet Queen, you know, being Michael's mother. So event that at that point he made them more balanced, although one was still leaning towards like to like destruction being the Scarlet Queen, but she did have a piece of good in her larger than larger than Triple J, but Recycles didn't realize
yeah.
and was a bad dad.
He was a bad dad. The baddest of dads.
And what
He was.
makes it even funnier is in my series, he was beaten and captured by a bonsai buddy.
He was that bad of a father. His dead wife came back to discipline him. To rewrite his wrongs. That kind of sounds funny when you think about it.
Yep. But yeah, both his own wife and a goddamn computer program just were like, screw you.
Yeah. Damn. Could you imagine being that much of a bad dad? Your dead wife comes back to scold you from that just sounds like really bizarre and cool. It's like
Yep. I mean, that what happens in Neverly bizarre stuff because, you know, it is, you know, anomalous and things beyond reality,
yeah,
beyond what's considered normal to us, you know.
yeah. Like just thinking of it like that, it's kind of hilarious. He became
Yep.
that much of a bad dad. His dead wife comes back.
She's like, I'm back from the dead and I'm here to score you.
How to raise our children properly. You didn't. You did something very wrong, which made the things that happened to become happening.
What if he killed his own wife?
That if that's the case, that's even more screwed up. Like that would be like if he did kill his own wife trying to like manipulate the children, that would be something like someone that would possibly do as well.
Because it isn't explained how she's dead, but it would make sense if it was him, because who else would be able to do it?
Yeah, maybe that's what happened. He didn't want to listen to her properly or the warnings that she was trying to tell him, so he just killed her.
The darkness was being better than the light.
Yeah, like she was trying to warn him, like, we have to do something now before anything bad can happen to the brothers. And he's like, I don't believe in you. You're the darkness. Even though you are my wife, I can't trust you. So he just like kills her outright. And she only comes back because she knew that she was right and she wanted to like kind of rub it in his face.
She knew eventually that he pro he may do something like kill her. That's why there's the Eye of Darkness. It's technically one of her eyes. Like
Yeah,
it's a way of her living on.
definitely. And like she warned him, he didn't believe in the darkness, telling the truth, and he kills her.
So she'll be reborn from the Eye of Darkness. Oh, that's perfect. Ivy will just be
Oh no!
me-
This is how it happens. As Triple J is somewhat attempting to resurrect the battlefield, well, some of the fallen soldiers. Somehow he also resurrects his mother, and then she forces Reeslix to come down to the battle site, and then scolds him.
yeah. But I have to make certain my character Ivy is somehow is there, like,
Yeah,
because she has the Eye of Darkness, because she's currently the current person that is the basically true living darkness at the moment.
because if you think about it, if Reeslix did kill our mother and we didn't know much of her, and I didn't know anyone who was tied to her or has the power of her as around me as I'm doing the resurrection, my power of like me trying to resurrect the dead would then unconscientiously resurrect her as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds pretty. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So I still get to use my favorite trope, even if because I was at 50-50. Like there's a 50-50 chance this resurrection plan won't go through. But now I'm kind of glad it has, because that means I get to resurrect my mother.
Yep. And she'll be scolding Reflex and equalizing things.
Yeah, she'll be putting the true balance back. Oh my god. What if the darkness isn't the villain it's supposed to be?
Yep, I've already kind of hinted at that, but yes.
Oh, so you're thinking the same thing then?
Yeah, I already had that idea. I've already hinted to it so far. Like, I already had some. Like, I've already started the idea somewhat with Ivy talking to Michael. Like, you shouldn't be so judgmental of the living darkness. Like, it's already in motion, so yeah, I already started on the idea. So yeah, we could definitely do that. Have the darkness not quite as the villain it seems to be.
Yeah,
Meaning Michael won't even need the anti-key in the end of the day. Like,
exactly. Like, it just makes perfect sense. Like,
Well,
t-
technically, he may still need the key for some of the living darkness, but
yeah,
for the bad living darkness,
exactly. Like, because
he'll still get the anti key, but yeah, it'll only be to deal with the really bad living darkness, such as like the dark presence.
yeah, but man, that this is just getting even more and more kick ass.
Yep. We've done brainstorms like
Or even better, because we get our like dark and lightness switched. The mother's like, maybe the parent should do the same,
oh yeah,
so that no one can have true control of the light or the dark anymore.
because yeah, because like for everyone else in the family, like Dimensio's already got both the light and the dark, like and like Michael's about to find out his mother is not as evil as she seems, and God, despite he SCP-343 is technically more on the good side. He still has like demon energy with him
Yeah,
because that generation was more like heaven and hell energy, like demon and more godly energy, where previous generations are light and darkness.
yeah. Like everything should come full circle. Like every dark and lightness should be equally balanced out within the people who it should be respectfully balanced out into.
Yep. And that means Micah finally achieves the goal
Yeah,
of of gang balance between the two. The
exactly.
the long goal he's been trying to achieve.
Definitely. Like taking 100%, everything has now been put in place. Everything is evenly balanced out in the world. No
Yeah.
one controls more power than the other. They all have the exact same equivalent.
Yep. Yeah, this is perfect.
Man, this is how long has this been going for? Just
Uh
this rifting?
38 minutes.
That's a pretty good like that's pretty solid. Like we have we have ironed out we've pretty much ironed out everything that we need to iron out on your side and my side.
Yep.
Michael gets the whole entire piece of the universe.
Yep. Even though he'll probably still be fighting against anomalies eternally and
And
still
it's
have to deal with some of the living darkness like the dark presence
and he
because
also has to still deal with Stoner Frank and his newfound power.
yep, he's never gonna truthfully be free.
Exactly.
But as long as, balance is restored, Michael will be somewhat, happy and at peace that if he does die somehow eventually, that everything is set right.
Yeah.
He can peacefully die if he were to die, but he's not gonna die anytime soon.
Yeah, like because if you think about it, if Michael does end up dying peacefully, um, Stoner Frank can somewhat probably still control if major problems if anything does come up. because of the multi-universe avatar state.
Yeah. Not to mention, there's still like Jimmy and everyone else.
Yeah, but the next powerhouse of everything would be Stoner Frank.
Unless he does die.
Yeah, unless he does die, which I'm hoping he won't.
Yeah. Hopefully, it shouldn't be resorted to that. Like, hopefully, Mike or someone else doesn't need to resort to chopping off his head.
Or sticking that bullet through his brain.
Yep.
Because I think what eventual Stoner Frank will eventually do is like, yeah, he at the moment he's definitely a loose cannon. Like 100%, he is the loosest cannon of them of all the group. Like no one knows what he will do next.
That's basically like Rogers. He was a loose cannon, but has chilled out a bit over time. He's still very wacky, Rogers, but he chilled out a lot.
But with what could possibly happen to Frank is like after he fully takes on the power, because at the moment with the Fruity Eight, he's only activating a part of the power, like let's say like 50 to 30% of the Avatar state power. But once
Yeah,
he like gets the whole entire like full apparition of it, which also means that at this point, Frank is also officially in balance because he also has the power of the dark and light in him because the multi-universe Avatar state,
yep.
which is like pretty much every power through like
He idea is that he can't fully use it till everything's like being in balance. Like
yeah,
he can't use it till the
like
balance is restored.
like he can use the fire, the wind, the lightning, like all the main elements, so like that
Yeah,
most people can use, but he can't access the dark and light until all the dark and light and on this side has been 100% like put to the right status quo, which then would allow him also the power to have the dark and the light powers to be used.
yeah,
But once everything becomes equilibrium, like after all the dark and light that we have recombined into like everyone has half and half, he will 100% be able to like fully like the drugs will no longer like he'll hit like after that happens, his drugged up brain is just gonna see the whole entire the more you know start shooting through the sky and he's just gonna be like he's gonna come enlightened.
yeah,
So like he will be like 100% an ordinary person. He'll still be like the Avatar, like he'll still be extremely powerful, but he won't be like he won't be going off half cocked all the time.
yeah. I still think he'll still have some of his personality, like he'll still
Yeah,
be
like
stonery and stuff, but
yeah, like he'll still be stonery, but he'll just be his visions will be more clear than they used to be.
and he'll chill out just like Rogers did.
Yeah, exactly. Like he'll still partake in all the drug taking and stuff like that. Um, but it won't control him like it is now. If you get what I mean, because so far he's void walked off base how many times now?
Uh, I've lost count.
Same here. Like once everything comes into balance, he will just be like the chill stoner dude that everyone knows, who will officially be at peace and he will do things that he needs to do in the correct way.
Yeah,
And he might even fall under the reins of Michael even more.
Yeah, maybe they actually become more of good friends
Yeah, and
in
like,
time.
yeah,
And that's when Michael would probably be like, "You're a lot like my friend Rogers." Honestly, I
uh,
feel like Stoner Frank and Rogers would be like great
yeah,
friends.
like the best thing would be with Rogers and Frank. Frank like, I'm hungry. What you got to eat? Just pulls out a pair of pants with a whole lot of unlimited food in the pockets.
Yep, he's
Uh,
got hot pockets in his pockets. He's got sushi. He's got like
yeah, like
popcorn.
I'm pretty sure Stoner Frank and Rogers would they'd be like they would be the bestest of friends. Like him and Mark would be friends, but Rogers and Frank would be the best of friends.
Yep, that they'd be best buds.
Hell yeah, definitely the bestest of buds,
um,
man. We're just making this plot go even longer and longer and longer. Like if we just keep ripping like this, we could probably write out another 2 or 3 years worth of material in one sitting. That's what it feels like we're doing. Like this podcast is just a bookmark of what's to come for the next 2 or 3 years of like character creations.
and technically, because yeah, again of my insane schedule, this technically releases after some of it would be done.
Yeah,
Technically, like although technically the recording, you know, would line up with what has gone on so far.
yeah,
By the time it is out, we technically would have done some of that stuff already.
yeah. Because if we do forget, we can just I can just talk to you like that podcast we did. Can you refresh me? Just quickly look into it and see what we need to do as well.
Yeah,
Like this is technically a verbal diary in a
y-
podcast form
yep,
of what's to be and will be and to come.
yep. It's like a verbal reminder. Reminder, you must have hair appointments at 11 p.m. Well, I don't know why I said 11 p.m., but let's go with it.
Man,
That's some late haircuts.
I'm still surprised that hairdressers are open up at that late at your country. That's
Yeah,
what really caught me off guard because in my country they tend to close around 6 o'clock.
yeah. I don't know. I guess they just stayed open late. I don't know.
Yeah, this was a definitely a good call to do.
Yep. It, yep. It makes certain that we've ironed out all the details and
100% have ironed out most of the details of everything that's to come.
yep.
And that, my friends, is what you call a well-tied shoelace. I have no idea why I said that.
Yeah.
It just seemed something commodical to say.
Yep.
Do you have
Well,
anything? Do you have anything else to add to our?
um, that should be it because yeah, the main thing is like on Saturday, yeah, I'll be making Michael's mother, Scarlet Queen, actually a good guy and having the Triple T talk with Michael
Yeah,
because I think the Triple T has somewhat realized the mistakes of like Reese like he
Definitely. Like he understands more than Triple J does himself. Like at the big crescendo when he resurrects his mum is when he realizes what he has done has been 100% bad. Like that's what I reckon anyway.
yeah. And I figure like Triple T may have tried once long ago to like you know try and get Triple J to listen, but he never did end up listening. So
Because of everything that had happened
yep,
between his father and him.
yep. So Triple T has been spending all this time trying to fix the mistakes of his father.
Fixing the sins of his father.
Yep. The Triple T, like, has just been trying his best, but
Couldn't succeed.
yep. And I figure one other thing that I'm going to do is explain why the Triple T joined the Aurora Assassination Guild. I feel
Yeah.
like he joined it to try and understand, like, his brother, like, see what the fun is with, destruction, killing, but he wanted to do it in a
A safe way.
somewhat good way, so he decided to do it with the Aurora Assassination Guild.
Yeah.
But obviously, he's probably had to kill a few people he hasn't wanted to kill, like the Triple T, like has killed some people he rather have not killed, but he had
Well,
to do it.
unlike Ghost, who has killed 5 children. Oh man, Ghost has never let that down. He's not let down killing 5 kids of the Brights. Or killing off 5 of the Brights.
Yeah. One of them was a kid because um I forget um oh yeah, TJ, I think. Yes. No, not TJ. TJ's still alive. Um uh Bright's technically grandson, yeah.
Could you imagine if Ghost killed Halsey's daughter?
That would that can't that is
I know,
impossible because
it's
that's
impossible.
Miranda.
I know. I was saying, could you imagine if he did without knowing kill her daughter?
Yep.
Uh, that would just be comedic. Not comedic, it'd be really just something that you would never think would happen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she died to a prophet of truth.
Yeah, I I killed her as the prophet of truth was trying to kill her to make it look like an accident. To make it look like the prophet of truth was trying to truly kill her. Oh man,
But
this has been a
yeah, most likely Ghost did not kill
yeah.
Miranda. Seeing, Truth was holding the smoking gun.
Yeah. Oh god, that would be funny. Truth kills Miranda, Ghost kills Truth.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen because Arby killed Truth.
I know, but I'm just thinking of like funny scenarios that could have possibly happened. Like
Yep.
before they could have pulled the trigger, just like this giant sniper around his ghost straight into Truth's head and pops it like a pimple.
Yeah. If Ghost ever kills Arby, then he's completed the cycle. But Arby's probably never going to die. Well, at least not die in war. Most likely will die of old age.
Yeah. The Grim Reaper will meet him as a friend. But I
It'd be cool to have the Grim Reaper in some way because I've never really had the Grim Reaper. There is an SCP that's like the Grim Reaper, but they're dead, known as the
you know,
Brothers Grimm.
do you know what the funny thing is?
What?
Do you know what Ghost's name was originally going to be?
What?
The Grim Reaper. Like, I was 100% gonna play with the name Grim Reaper, but I honestly at that point I didn't know if you had anyone named the Grim Reaper or had anything along the lines of the Grim Reaper name used.
Yeah.
Either that or Ghost eventually just does become Death himself.
Yeah.
Like instead of becoming like a man-made god, he just becomes Death and uses the handle name Grim Reaper,
Yeah.
which could actually also work as well,
Yeah.
considering how much death he has dealt out. He's killed like what 500 people, and
Yeah.
he's probably going to be killing heaps. He's killed heaps more as well. Like maybe if he kills like who or if he ends up killing like over 5,000 people, like he might just end up becoming death.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I use it as part of my thing for Ghost?
Yeah, sure.
So Ghost will no longer become a god. He will become death. And if, like he'll still be like the leader of the Warrior Assassin's Guild, but what he'll do is as well as that, he will send off high ranking people to like he will take them to where they need to go to be passed on. So Ghost might end up meeting him as death when he
Meet
does
meet who as death?
when he dies of old age. The guy who killed Truth.
Oh yeah, Arby.
Abby.
The Arbiter. Or
Yeah.
Thelvadam or Vadami.
Yeah, the Arbiter, like that would be something poetic. You have done a good job all these years, Arbiter. I have come to take you forth to a place of bitter being.
But he
Which
didn't. But Ghost didn't kill Miranda, so it doesn't really work.
I know, but like what I'm saying is, Truth killed Miranda, Arbiter killed Truth, and Ghost, being Ghost, was probably like on planet somewhere watching this all go down, and it's like that's a good soldier. He should if he does die, and if I do get to meet him before he dies, or if I have something along those lines, and like he deserves to have a better place to rest when he does. Like
Yeah.
after killing so many people, he at titles he gains the title of Death, aka Grim Reaper, and he takes people to their place of being after they die. So like he will have all like the high people like of the Foundation, the UNSC. If anyone dies that has been in like really good, he comes and takes them. and before that he does, he gives them the option to say goodbye to all their loved ones.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's thinking of that is kind of like wow. Because if that is the case, once Michael dies, if he ever does die, Ghost will be taking him home because Ghost will be death.
Yep.
But that's the full circle for Ghost. Ghost tries to get killed. Ghost resurrects in a modified suit of power, not power, but Spartan armor. Meets Jimmy, becomes friends with Michael, becomes even powerful, then becomes a leader of the Royal Assassination Guild. He then becomes Death and meets his good friend Michael at the end of it all.
Yep.
That's kind of poetic. Like, Michael will be seeing the face of a friend before he dies,
Yeah.
which is kind of poetic in itself. Like, all the good work he's done has been recognized by so many people. And the last face he sees before he passes on is the face of a good friend.
Yep.
Because I think at this point, Ghost and Michael are pretty chummy at best. Like, their friendship could go even more.
Yeah.
But no, then I think I'm gonna retcon Ghost becoming a god. He's gonna become Death after he kills. I think was it 5,000 people? Did I say?
Yeah. 5,000.
Which that could happen very quickly because
Now is the leader.
yeah, later now, like I'd say at this point he's probably killed what 1,000 or 1,000 more, or he got like 1,500 kills under his belt. Because
Eh,
he would have sneakily been like like when this big second part of the big war happens. I can just imagine Ghost not wanting to miss out on the fun, and he's just gonna be like up on some high tower, just sniping the enemies without anyone knowing.
yeah. And seeing there's, 2 million, you know, people and like over 2 million, like the army of the HO, like,
Yeah, like he could quite simply kill 5,000 in that one war.
yep.
So he might become death sooner than actually anything. Actually, he might become death within the next recording. No, not this next stream. I'd say not this war. Like he will be killing in the next live stream.
Probably by the end of the war, like,
Yeah, like by the end of the war, which could probably be ending on what next Wednesday.
yeah, because most likely on Friday we'll do the foundation bits, like
Yeah,
the
like
attack against the foundation, then Wednesday will be the attack on the Havoc order base and
yeah,
when balance gets restored and all that.
yeah.
So,
Because I can imagine Ghost just being plopped up on a tower in the foundation, just sniping people without anyone knowing. And he follows to the HO. He goes and does the exact same thing. So within that two instance, he would have probably racked up over 5,000 kills, and
yeah.
then becomes the god of death. Oh, death! Yeah, technically he would be the god of death. He would still be a god because he'd be death. Because isn't death technically a god?
I guess so, yeah.
The death god Grim Reaper.
Yep.
Okay.
Does
Anything
that
else?
mean since it's changed things, do the Enigmas still not count him as an Enigma or.
No, he won't be classified as Enigma still because I don't think they would classify the Grim Reaper, the god of death, a technical god because anything, but
Well, there was
maybe
a god of death in my thing
actually,
named Hayes.
maybe he does become a god to the Enigmas because without him, people won't pass on properly.
So,
So that they have
so
no option but to recognize him as a god or an
yeah,
enigma.
yeah. So he's basically taken the place of Hayes, the past god of death. Ironically, they're dead. Hayes
Yeah.
is dead.
Oh my god.
What?
I had another light bulb moment. Before Hayes died, he came to Ghost and gave him a contract. If he could kill 5,000 people, he becomes the new Death God. And Ghost signed up to become the Death God. Like this could have happened in the background of like everything before, like before what's happened now, like before like every like from what happened before, like all your solo stuff before I joined in, and the million year past, Hayes sought out Ghost in specific reason to make him the new god of death because the god of death knew his time was coming and they would need a new death god regardless.
Yeah. Meaning Hayes knew he was about to probably
Die.
die to Michael's hand.
Yeah, but but when Ghost becomes a new death god, he is a good death god, not a bad death god.
Yeah. Hayes only really became a bad death god because of the complicated nature of the Enigma War. Like, it changed a lot of the Enigmas. Like, it made a lot of the Enigmas corrupt. Like, the Enigma War corrupted, like, the Enigmas, like,
And that corruption is what made Reflex kill his wife. I could be wrong. I just I
uh,
just I just have another light bulb, but I think that one might be a bit bad.
no, again, I think the Enigma War was more caused by, like, there was just too many Enigmas. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
again, it was technically because of Reflex. Like, Reflex was too lax. It was one of his mistakes. But that I don't think there's actually, a true corruption for unless, oh, now I'm having a light bulb moment. The corruption force was the very thing Plague Doctor feared, the pestilence. I've had a light bulb moment now because of you. Like,
because
let
of this pestilence, death, war, the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
we don't need everything, but
I know, that's what I just realized where that is somewhat coming from. The four horsemen of the apocalypse: pestilence, war, death, and there's one other one. I can't remember what it is though.
yeah. But the pestilence, like, probably corrupted, like, reflex, which allowed him to be more lax in his choices, and
Yeah,
maybe his wife, like, started to realize, like, the
yeah,
pestilence had taken a hold, because basically the pestilence is the ultimate disease. Like, it's the god disease. Like, and
yeah.
it then spread through the enigmas and corrupted a lot of them. but eventually, like, some were able to be redeemed and have lost the pestilence unintentionally because they didn't realize, like, since, like, Michael has already found the cure of the pestilence long ago, like, they were unintentionally cured, like, meeting Michael, like, they are, that's why, like, the evil enigmas, most of them became good except Hayes, who is dead.
Yeah.
But the bad enigmas that came good were, you know, saved. And that's why, like, Reselex now is more being better at, like, doing things, but I feel like maybe there's still like a small part of the pestilence within him since he's like patient zero.
Yeah, exactly.
He, even though his one probably was cured a little bit with contact with Michael, it isn't fully gone. Like the
Yeah.
pestilence is still a, a little bit in him because he is patient zero, so he has the most advanced version of it within him and he just hasn't realized.
And that's when everything happens. Everyone gets the yin and yang put in them. And as they're doing that, that's when they find out he still had a fragment of the pestilence still inside him.
Yep. And then that piece of the pestilence is finally
Destroyed.
gone, destroyed. And Michael will be like, damn, the pestilence has struck twice. The plague doctor really did know.
Yeah. Man, it's almost been an hour, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been an hour and 12 minutes.
What? Okay. Do we have any more thing else we need to talk about?
Um, I do not think so for the moment because we've talked about Ghost and we've talked about Frank. We've ironed out the details for the H show and, the Triple
Yep.
J and Triple T and all that moving forward
Yep.
between, light and dark. And it also give proper end to the pestilence,
Yeah.
like I finally get to use the pestilence for something really important, and show the plague doctor was right and somehow he could like sense it. Like he must have gained like the plague doctor must have gained like at least some part of like either enigma or like he gained some sort of godly thing.
He got the godly power of future foresight. He could see everything when it comes to be and when it will come to be and how it does happen and when it fails and when it doesn't. But the only way he can explain it to people is by doing some weird riddles. The drawback of the power is he has to do everything in riddles.
Plague doctors never spoken reals. Uh, maybe bad idea. Um, like
Charades!
what?
He has to convey through charades.
No, he can
Instead,
speak English and other languages. Um, um, like I think he just like he knows like of the God ending disease, but he could only convey it as like saying the pestilence, like, I sense the pestilence in you, like, that's, you know, what the plague doctor has always done. He's like, and but the drawback is that the drawback is always had whenever he detects a lot of pestilence, like, he gets angry and starts, like, killing and experimenting on people. Like, he
Oh, yeah.
basically goes like Jack on Hyde, sort of, like, he goes into a rage state, which, you know, since it's, you know, SCP-049, like like in that rage state, he is not really in control. So
Yeah.
he can detect it, but, like, but all he says is, like, I sense the pestilence. Like, he doesn't really know where, you know, originally
Yeah.
um came from. He just knows it's there. But yeah. But yeah, that definitely adds on to the plague doctor, like,
Yeah.
because um one of the episodes I did was the end of time episode, where it showed basically the end of time, technically, after everything that's happened, like, um because even though that it's sort of canon, but also in a weird place where it's also um, technically not canon, because, yeah, again, anything can happen in the series, but it's, you know, mostly canon. But yeah, in that episode, the last three people are Michael, Jimmy, and the Plague Doctor. Like,
Mm.
which then Plague Doctor gets sent back to um, the past, and he ends up in the back rooms and becomes the hermit of the back rooms, because in the lore of the back rooms there's a hermit that apparently wears plague doctor outfits. So I was like, oh, that's perfect, that the plague doctor in the end of time came back, but and came the hermit of the back rooms, like someone that helps wanderers through, but also eventually encounters Michael and gives him the cure to the pestilence.
Yeah.
Because technically, he would already have seen all these events, like the events of the hate show and all that, and yeah, like, that future version of himself technically would have already known.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. This is last time. Is there anything else we need to conclude on?
Uh, don't think so, because we talked about Frank Ghost, made the pestilence also a part of this through, and yeah, everything should be ironed out, and yeah,
This here is what will become of the future of all these characters.
yep.
It is set here in stone.
Well, some things may change slightly, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that took longer than I expected.
Yep.
I'm actually glad we actually did do this because if we didn't, we'd be when it comes to like the next few live streams of doing RP, we'd just be winging it and just making stuff up on the fly. But now that we have a concrete roadmap of what's to come and to be done, even with small changes here and there, it's somewhat now set that this is what's happening with the RP characters, with maybe small iterations if need be changes to them.
Yeah.
But this is the plan, and this is how it's going to play out.
Yep.
Because
And
like
this
having
is
this,
very interesting because this is just, before, you know, Evil Stewart, because, seeing that the Living Darkness is, you know, so I'm guessing the Living Darkness that's controlling Stewart is technically one of the bad ones. Like,
yeah,
even after balance is restored, it's like, God damn it. Like, this can't be happening. Like, I
yeah,
refuse and will, still do the plan of, using Stewart against, Michael and probably, Richard as well. Like,
at that point, like when we get to that point, at that point, like all of my RP characters, except for Richard, obviously, all he has is the transformation, phase ability, and fly. But if anything bad does happen, like we have a powerhouse of actual like RP character, like Ghost, God of Death,
yep,
Triple J, Triple T, and the rest of them all yin and yanged up. Like,
yep,
and then like everyone just is going to come under one regime of the freaking Foundation, except for obviously Aurora. That's a sub guild. That's something that would be of its own. But the HO order will officially, after the battle, is going to be pretty much decommissioned.
yep,
And unless somewhere down the track we want to reuse the name again, the Havoc Order, which I don't mind doing.
yeah. Because the League of Villains has, come back, from when I ended it like long ago, like a year ago, like,
Oh, that'd be really funny. The League of Villains, the people that do not agree for the team up to become good, they just now they have now just taken full command of whatever is left of the HO and make it their own.
so the
What?
Havoc Order becomes sort of a pseudo new
Yeah.
League of Villains.
The League of Order. Or the Order League. No. The Evil Order. We'd have to keep the order in it somehow because the Havoc Order. Because if that does happen, I reckon if anything, they will just change the first part to something different and have the order at the install.
The
Just to,
Order of Villains.
yeah, the order of villains. Because then all they gotta do is just blank out the Havoc part and just write the evil over all the stuff that has the Havoc stuff written on it. They just come with like these big whiteboard markers. It's like, this is no longer the Havoc Order, it's the Evil Order.
The
Just like
Evil Order kind of sounds dumb, though.
Villain Order.
I like the Order of Villains more, so maybe like.
I, okay, okay. My mistake. In my brain, I subconsciously flipped those two around. And sorry, that was my mistake. My brain was thinking more faster than my mouth was talking, and I was, yeah, yeah, but yeah. Okay, I think, yeah, I get it. My brain was moving faster than my mouth was at that point.
My brain is being fried by the heat of like my room.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I guess auto villains or what are we calling it?
I think yeah, the order of villains. Or the evil order.
Yeah, again, I still feel like evil is a bit uh like the evil. That sounds like so generic.
Let me think of a name. Give me a sec. Evil, evil, evil. What could be replaced for evil?
Oh,
The Mischief Order.
I had another idea to keep villain in it. The villainous order.
Yes, the Villainous Order.
That way they still keep the villain part, but it's changed slightly, and it still keeps order in it,
Yeah,
so that still has villain in it, but is distinct from the League of Villains.
yeah. Oh
So
man,
yeah,
this has been one long podcast,
yep,
longer than usual.
yep. This is about as long as like
I
the
think the I think the Mandalorian one wasn't it?
uh we've had a lot of long ones. Let me check real quick.
I know most of the RP related ones are quite long.
Some are longer than others. Let me see what the longest is so far. I just have to look at all the lengths of each one. Because we've definitely had some long ones. Yeah, the Mandalorian one was the longest, which was also the one about you.
Give me a sec.
So,
Hello. I would say I'm fond of either or. Yep. Well, they've both been pretty good, so either or is fun of me.
do 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 do.
Bye. Okay.
But yeah, it was the Mando one. That was 1 hour and
Can you hear me?
37. Yeah, I can hear you.
Did you do the whole entire conversation?
I heard like your half mainly.
I turned my headset off. I powered it off and it.
I still heard you.
How the hell did you hear me? My headset was turned off. That's crazy. That is bizarro. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
How the hell does a powered down headset pick up everything I'm saying?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna next time I'm gonna have to probably leave the call because it's official. Even if my headset turned off, you can still hear me.
That is odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Mando one was the longest one at 1 hour and 37 minutes. But yeah, yeah, that should be everything we need to iron out and talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna finally conclude unless you have anything else to mention.
I think that's everything that I can think of, really.
Yep. And I think I've thought of everything that I can mention as well for now. So yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna do the outro now. So thank you all for watching this our podcast. Yeah. This was definitely a long one. So yeah. Do you want to say anything for the outro, Sky?
Check out my YouTube at SkySlayer222.
Yep.
Just do a self plug there.
Yep. It'll be in also in the link in the description. As always, whenever we do, do these things. So yeah. Actually, now I've got to make certain I've done it for the recent ones because I always tend to I do it for a while and then I forget and then I remember and then have to add it into ones that I've forgotten to do it with. So I better check the recent ones. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching the Owl Podcast.